Hickey. Kia ora and welcome to the committee. You have 5 minutes for your submission, and that includes comments or questions from us.
Inga mana ina rea e ro rangatira mā malawa pito. A konyangani te maunga ko Mukavisi te awa. No Zimbabwe toko te ranga waiwai. Ko Philip Hickey toko tāne, ko Hannah rātou, ko Veronica, ko Catherine, ko Tamahine, ko Gillian Hickey aho. Kia ora, I'm here in my personal capacity today and speaking for those who flee their homes, their land, seeking safety and security. I'm here with my friend Sean, who is here as a support, and we're here simply as human beings. I was the New Zealand representative and a council member of the International Catholic Migration Commission from 2015 to 2022, and the ICMC helps people stay alive after fleeing war, persecution and natural disasters. And that's something that both Sean and I have experienced both in our countries of origin, but also our family and friends who've experienced that. But I'm also here because I'm appalled and angry at the proposals that you are considering. You've read my submission. I'm not going to go over that again. I'm simply saying don't implement it. It dehumanizes and divides us from them. It strips people of their humanity. You've heard from all the organizations, the advocacy and community groups tell you the very clear reasons why this should not be. The Casey Review has said that detention harms people. I recommend that you go ahead and implement the Casey Review recommendations before you bring this legislation through, because we know that detention harms people. And you're proposing detaining people for the stated reason that they can get legal representation, which doesn't work very well at the moment anyway. Or perhaps it's under some guise of security checks. The government has accepted the recommendations of the Casey report. Let's implement those. I'm also here kanohi ki te kanohi in person. I was offered Zoom, but I thought, no, I want to come here because I was wondering whether in the last few years, with all the Teams and Zooms and Google Meets, we've lost our humanity. We need to see us as each other, as human beings, and recognize and honor that humanity. And seeing when people are seeking refuge, what they're doing. If a waka should arrive on our shores, as they have done for generations, we should welcome that with aroha and love. That's who we are. So I have a few questions for you. Who put this legislation on your to-do list? And why is it here?
Michael Woods.
The minister
Yep.
did. We don't agree.
So-
all of us don't agree.
And why is it there? You can say no. One of you in here potentially could be my representative in the House after October. My teenage daughter will also be voting. We are listening and we are watching because we are human beings and we want our representatives to make sure that that happens. So why are you wasting your time creating legislation for A, an event that has never happened, and B, an event that if it did, have you considered what it would be like for the people who arrived in this manner? Now, I've been to these in a formal capacity. I'm very much here in my personal one, so I'm not interested in any political posturing or grandstanding. I don't want to answer any of your questions. Instead, I'm going to ask each of you to state here and now that you would be prepared to lock up and detain Sean and myself and my teenage daughters and my 12-year-old daughters without warrant for many weeks. If we've been escaping the tyranny of the political and economic situation from the lands of our birth and spent many treacherous days at sea to seek safety and shelter, you would welcome us with detention. You would deny us the freedom and the protection we crave and we need, potentially in a correctional facility. You would separate me from my daughters. You would separate me from my friends, from my husband. What is this legislation doing? So I ask those of you who are putting this forward to look us in the eye and tell us that you will detain us for far longer than any other person can be detained without warrant and without reason and against our fundamental human rights. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa.
I just want to thank you as someone who arrived here as a child asylum seeker with my parents, my frightened, activist, feminist parents from Iran, having lived through a war. So I just want to say kia ora to you for doing that. I have voted against this bill and the Green Party will continue to vote against this bill. These guys are only voted for it to committee to hear from you guys. So hopefully they'll change their vote and hopefully the government will pull the bill. It is absolutely disgraceful, as you say.
I just want to add my voice to Gloria's voice that we hear it loud and clear, and then we will take this feedback. I'll just leave it there. But thank you for your passion and for your advocacy. Thank you.